Hey, welcome to Blue Line Hockey Club. Tonight's episode is brought to you by
We're three brothers from a small town in the east coast of Canada.
Golf has been in our blood since Caddyshack was at the drive-in.
We've dedicated our lives to this game.
Ride tree, whip them high, falcons in the sun, ride the pebble on down, that old 55 in the motor song, back over at home, in the AM radar, love is coming on strong, it's getting you along, it's going in and gone, easy, oh, won't you take me in, some of that old-fashioned California sin. Whoa, there's the rules. I don't make them, be the dice. Watch me shake them. If I give myself to you, well, you gotta give yourself to me. There's the rules.
Now, welcome back to the Blue Line Hockey Club, folks. Another exciting episode of the Blue Line Hockey Club. We've got FP120 tonight. All the usual suspects sitting in the house with us tonight. We have our producer, Patrick Uncle Sullivan. What's up, Patrick?
Aloha.
And the local nerd on staff, our IT guy, Robbie Pete Peters. What's up, man?
Hey, how you mom and them?
And the all-around sports guru, Derek D-Train. He too. What's up, D-Train?
What's up, sweetos?
And down there in the middle, we got Johnny Shaver of the Maples. What's up, man?
What's up, man? What's up, Shaver?
And your host of the Blue Line Hockey Club tonight, Mark the Doctor Morley.
Oh, doctor.
Hey, fellas, very special guest sitting in with us tonight. We have a guy that played 14 seasons in the NHL with the Detroit Red Wings, played on multiple different USA hockey teams, including the Sochi Olympics team back in 2000. I think 14. And we have Jimmy Howard tonight. What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Glad to have you.
My pleasure.
Jimmy, thank you for helping us get John on. We've been trying for months, and thanks for helping us get Shaver on.
Oh, it's even better that we got him on video. Last time it was, all done by phone. So now that he's on video, he's got to kind of behave himself.
Yeah.
He's hide.
He's keeping the chin up. He's keeping the chin up, I got the camera, folks.
This is just not a good angle at all.
So, Jimmy, a little hanging out these days? Some coaching your kids? What's happening?
Coaching my kids. Right now, I took over beginning of the new year for head coach for my oldest son's James's hockey team, the Oakland Junior Grizzlies, and I'm an assistant for my second oldest child boys team, the same thing, but Oakland Junior Kodiaks. They haven't quite graduated to the Grizzlies, but same organization and everything like that. So it's been a lot of fun. Like, it's my hockey fix now that I'm retired. So they drive me a little bit batty, but at the same time, I tell them, like, I'm here for you guys. I want you guys to all get better. And so far it's been, a really good transition.
How does that work, Jimmy, when you go into hockey arenas and barns? Do you kind of wear the sunglasses every once in a while, or
no?
Does everyone come up?
Only when I go downriver here in Detroit. So
yeah.
downriver here in Detroit is considered like the south part, like south of 70. South of the city, 75. That's where you want to keep the sunglasses and keep a low profile. I remember one time it was when James first started playing. He had like a day term in Brownstown, which is out by Detroit Metro. You guys have no idea probably what that is, but then probably neither do the listeners. But when you go down that way, you got to expect to just get hounded, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, playing for Detroit, you got to expect that, goalie.
Yeah. Up where we live in, the suburbs, it's not like
no.
People are used to seeing guys, all the athletes out and about, but you go downriver, they don't get that specialty, too often. So you got to be prepared.
Nice.
I was going to say we
So it must
know
be-
you're paying coach 8 U's, but we don't have to worry that much at all.
What's that?
Are you?
I was going to say some of us have coached 8 U's, 8 and unders.
Yeah.
So we know what the pain is for dealing with the young kids.
Oh,
but
fuck yeah.
never like that, you don't have to. We certainly don't have to hide who we are.
Yeah, it's like trying to corral cats or kittens on the ice. Wow.
Hey, working with the 2011 team out here, so 10U, like I tell them every single day, we're working on listening skills. We're not just working on hockey skills. We're also working on listening skills.
I need to work on that too.
Focus.
Yeah. Just get a pocket full of Adderall and fucking feed them to the kids before practice.
Yeah.
Are you missing the game of hockey and playing and putting the pads on and shit like that? I mean, the first year you haven't done it in what, I don't know, 30 some years.
No, absolutely not. I knew when I was done. It was the first or second week of December, and I was out with my goalie coach, and I was like, "This sucks." I was like, "I'm sick and tired of getting hit by pucks." Like, and that's when I knew it was time. Like, I mean, that's probably a telling sign. Like, you should probably hang him up. You're sick and tired of getting hit by pucks. So I talked to him after the practice that day, and then I went home and proceeded to hang my stuff up to dry, and then it went from the garage locker to the basement storage.
Yeah.
Hop in here whenever you want, Shaver. Feel free to talk.
Let me just ask a quick question. So,
I was going to
Jimmy,
ask
what do you,
Shaver if he's skating.
No, Jimmy, what do you think is going to be the next step, man, for you now that you're retired? Like, what do you see like your future as, man? You want to get into coaching at like a higher level than your kids, or like what's the plan?
No, I don't plan on going higher than my kids. It's too much damn work. I mean, those guys are stuck behind a computer screen 24/7. Like, it doesn't matter if you're at the junior level, the American Hockey League, college, the NHL. Those guys are stuck behind a computer 24/7, and they're also out scouting all the time. So I feel like my schedule would become even more hectic than it was when I was playing. So the whole part of being retired is to be able to enjoy yourself and to enjoy your family and your kids. Like, I don't see that happening in that aspect. Jumping into that type of position. So right now, I got some options out there, but I haven't really collected, I guess you can say. So right now I'm just enjoying, being a dad, enjoying going to the rink with both my boys and, just being around the family.
Oh, yeah.
You're having a birthday
kids,
here
right?
soon, right?
Pardon?
You're having a birthday here, ripe old age of 34, 35. Getting old, Jimmy. Yeah.
I know. Getting up there in age.
You have 4 kids, right?
4
boys, older boys.
Yeah, our youngest just turned 1 yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man,
I think last time we were on the show, you were telling us, I don't know if it was the last time or the time before, but you were telling us how you were at the playing at Augusta when your wife had one of the kids.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
You're like sneaking your cell phone.
Yeah, Peg's in the ground, and she was born the same time. Pretty wild. I need another shot at that.
Yeah, that's a tough decision.
Without that stress on me.
Yeah, it would definitely fuck up your game.
Shaver, what are you doing these days? You playing hockey or what? Is there any hockey
every Monday night.
I think
Sergi's.
Didn't just cancel on you and you guys were still at the bar?
We played the Phantoms Monday night because they didn't want to drive in the snow. So we went down to Hosmer's, got polluted. I ended up with a hat trick. So it was a good night.
Nice. So it's your league's not playing. You're just kind of like meeting up with teams and yeah.
No, we've literally played the Surgeys team since November every single Monday night because they don't have anywhere they can skate. So we just have them come over here because they're a good group of guys, and we have a game every Monday against them.
How many slashing penalties have you gotten?
Have I gotten?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, show us a picture of the team. They have to wear masks when they skate. Do you guys have to wear masks at all, or you just give her?
No, that's because they all play at the colleges. No, you have to skate too hard to slash people. Now I'm 41, so I just get the puck and shoot it, and then hit the bench.
You look like the fighter there in the top right corner. Are you the fighter on the team?
Yeah, 0-23.
That's how you got that ugly face.
But we do got some Canton guys in there.
Yeah, that's probably why we won.
Squirrel. Now, tell us his position again. What do you play?
Squirrel was the third line center, and we only ran 2 lines. But
makes sense.
He did have his North Country jersey that he won the national championship in, so I had nothing for him.
He sleeps with that still.
Yeah, he told me. I saw him at a golf tournament with on too. I said, "Bud, it's 85. Let's fucking."
Is that true though? Is that true? He didn't win the national champion in
that picture that you were talking about.
He's one of them. Yeah.
Did North Country Community College they wear mittens on the glove on the ice?
Yeah, but one year they won the national championship.
Oh my God!
Yeah, no. Scotty Williams, Chris Spicer, and him were all on that team.
Scott Williams from Ogdensburg?
Yeah, he's in the picture too.
Oh, okay.
They were all on that team together.
Nice. Didn't know that.
Word. Speaking of colleges, Jimmy, Pat's nephew is playing at Maine right now. JD Greenway, he's a defenseman there this year. It's a senior year, right, Pat?
Super senior. He's like his uncle.
Super senior.
So, yeah. They're not playing too much up there, but they're doing okay. They started off strong, but it's just been a screwed up season, and
it's been tough for them because they constantly have to travel. They have to play at home because the state won't allow them to have more than 50 people in the arena. So you have 2 teams in there. That's 60 people right there. So
yeah, it's been a tough season for all college players. It kind of sucks for him because, like I said, this is his last year of college and hoping to crack a squad in the AHL hopefully, but I don't know how that's going to work out. But yeah, it's been tough. Marley's hopefully, but we'll see what happens. Jimmy, is this the ring you got?
I never got a ring.
You never got one? What?
No, I didn't play in enough games that year, and I never dressed in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I was the third stringer, but I didn't get a ring. But you know what? The trade-off was a day with the cup, and I'd much rather have that.
Yeah, for sure. And you brought that back to the Berg, right?
Yeah, that's OFA Academy and the gym there. So
yeah,
it was a lot of fun to be able to bring it home, bring it down to the green belt, and let the whole North Country come and celebrate it. And then, of course, had to go to the place, right, Shaver?
That's right.
I used to hang out.
I was there.
My nephew, or my brother's kid, I think was a baby at the time. He's got a picture of him sitting in the cup. So you definitely made some dreams come true there for sure. And I know you've done some things for the minor hockey there too. Bought them jerseys a number of times for the Minor Hockey Association in Ogdensburg, giving back to those young kids. So that's cool too, man. I know they appreciate that shit.
Yeah, I mean, those kids, they deserve it. So, to be out there skating, working hard every single day, working for Coach Shaver as he pounds his beer. They deserve to look the part. So, that's the best part, being in the position that, I'm able to, have contacts and, with Shaver, helping out as well. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys, any of you guys catch the
how often do you get up this way, Jimmy, these days? You get up
No, very
often or not?
No, not often at all. Not often enough. So I
Gotta
would
get up there.
I'd like to get back there more, but now, since we have a lake house back in Maine, like normally it's
really?
it's a drive-through. Hi, but gone. Stay on throughway. So,
The last time you came was for a golf tournament, and it was a pretty solid 40 hours.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Hey, did you guys watch the outdoor game, Jimmy? I know you played in an outdoor game. What'd you guys think of that out in Lake Tahoe? What was it? It was kind of cool, but the delays kind of sucked big time. But Jimmy, what'd you think?
The first one's got to be, extremely tough because, they play the first period. You can tell that the ice is just baking in that sun. But, that experience that you guys just showed of me playing at the big house with the Wings sucked. It was so cold. It was, the snow was coming down. It was just brutal conditions. And, it's a great memory to have to share with, all my family and friends that were able to come out. Awesome. But other than that, it blew.
Were you there, John?
Yeah, I have a bed. Yeah, it sucked.
I remember, it was 5 minutes into every single period. Like, my helmet was freezing in my head. My equipment was freezing. Like, I couldn't feel my clothes. Like, couldn't drink any water because the water bottles would freeze. Like,
how cold was it?
It was 12 degrees at puck drop with a wind chill of -4 or 5.
Oh God!
So it was brisk, but
your pads looked a little stiff there.
Couldn't move them.
I remember
I remember going to the bench in the period of that game. Finally, a delayed penalty for us to go on the power play, and I get to the bench and I sit down. I was like, I don't want to go back out there. I don't want to go back out there. I was like, fuck, boys, it's like fucking Barbados here. Like, heat pumping on them, it's coming out, through the vents and everything. I was like, Peter, go ahead. But
Shaver, what was it like as a fan, Shaver? I've never been to one. I don't think any of the guys here on the podcast have. What was it like drinking beers? You had to piss all the time. It had to be just annoying.
No, because I can say I was at the game where the most people ever attended an NHL game, and people always say, "Hey, that's awesome."
They never got the official count.
We'll just say it was the most.
It was 105.
What? No, they never got the official count because they couldn't keep track because people were coming in after the second period. So
it could have been more
official count, or
what's that?
It could have been more.
You think, or
it could have been more than 105, but they never got an official tally because the weather was so bad. People getting there.
Yeah,
so they just assumed that it was 105.
So I was going to say, Jimmy, I saw the first game I ever saw outdoors. Marty Turco wore a toque over your helmet, over his helmet. You didn't think to have some sort of hat or anything like that?
I think that's just for show, isn't it?
You know what? That was a dumb mistake. I should have done it. I mean, Bernie did it. My buddy, / colleague for a couple of years, and he said it helped, but that was a dumb mistake on my part. But growing up, I always wanted to go to Michigan. I wanted to play for the Michigan Wolverines. I finally had a mask that had, the 3 lines down the back and everything like that, so I had to show it off. The ego got in the way.
Okay.
Nice. You liked it though, Shaver? You had a good time?
I guess basically just saying I was there was cool, but we fucked up because when we got there, we each drank a beer, and then we went in and we're like, we'll go in, check the situation out, and then go back out and party. The lady that took our tickets didn't tell us that once you come in, you cannot come out.
Fuck.
So we were in there, and they were still putting fucking the seat warmers on the seats. I had photos of no one in the big house except for me and the 3 guys I went with. So we were 12 hours outside in 8-degree weather. It sucked. It was fucking brutal. I just stood like a fucking wooden Indian for fucking the whole game. Like it went into a shootout. People are like freaking out. Like I'm just like, get me the fuck out of here. So
it went into shootout.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm glad I was there to say I was there. But like, they're like, hey, would you ever do that again? I'm like, zero chance. There's fucking.
Oh, really?
No, absolutely not.
You never go to an outdoor game again, eh?
Maybe like in Barbados or something like that. But
well, you know, they were supposed to have one here. Rob and I are in Raleigh. They're supposed to have one here. The Hurricanes and I forget who. That would be a little warmer, right? That would probably be a little more tolerable. So
I would do that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I know how they're going to keep the ice cold here.
Fuck. They'll get that. Generators.
I'll be there.
They did it. They did it in LA.
Yeah, I was going to say they had one in LA.
Listen, Jimmy, we can keep the OFA rink cold, man. That place was always hot as hell.
Yeah. That was to slow you guys down.
Yeah.
Balmy 80
fucking
degrees.
puddles all over the goddamn ice.
Where are you playing -10?
Fucking skating in sand.
Jimmy, wasn't the outdoor game or one of the outdoor games when they introduced the Olympic team? And maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they brought you out for like announcing the Olympic team or some shit. No, am I wrong?
That was the same game.
Was that the game?
Yeah. So that transpired. So I got the phone call like the day before the game saying that I was being selected to the Olympic team. So I got to share that with just my family. So that was pretty cool. And then I didn't know that they were going to do this big announcement of both, you know, the U.S. and the Canadian from that game. So, like, it was me, JBR, and I forget who the third guy was, but yeah, like we go out there, you know, another hot lap, wave to the fans. Hey, how you doing? As everyone's just Xing out of the building, like getting out. And then
was gone
all the way across in our equipment.
I was still there.
7 weeks. Eddie O, Catherine Tappan, and the bus ended up leaving me. Like, I had to, like, thankfully, like Nick Lidstrom and Thomas Holstrom, you know, stuck around there, you know, having a couple of sodas after the game, and you know, they were able to drive me back to Plymouth, where I was able to pick up my vehicle. So. Yeah, otherwise I would have been stranded in Ann Arbor with the rest of the 100,000 people trying to get out of there.
Yeah, crazy. And Shaver. Jimmy, talk about your first NHL game. You were out there with some of the best players that yourself and all the guys here grew up watching for Detroit. Like, how was that? And now that you're retired, and those guys have been retired for a little while, like that's just unbelievable for me that you were on the ice with those guys. It's fucking awesome.
I'd be lying if I say it wasn't nerve-wracking, because it was. But I didn't have the nerves. You Shaver, you all right? Moving around.
Get a Frosty.
Yeah, Pepsi.
Distracting.
Creaking this time.
But I mean, I wasn't nervous for the game because luckily for me, like leading up to my first game, I spent like the first month and a half with the team. So I got to know everyone. Like I got to know Shanny, I got to know Steve, Kelly, you know, Chris Osgood. I got to meet, you know, all these future Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
You know, right after training camp, because Ozzy was out with a brain injury. So I got to stay. So I practiced with him every day, trained, you know, this and that. And then I got sent down to the American League. And I was literally in Grand Rapids for 3 weeks. And then Manny got hurt. Go out and West Coast swing. Ozzy never does well in San Jose. Sure as shit. And gets shelled for 7. Babs is pissed. How are you starting the next game? So it was in LA, and you know, out there for pregame skate. Of course, Chelly goes out there, breaks. It was at least 2 panes of glass. It shattered them with slap shots. So pregame skate gets delayed, you know, 15, 20 minutes. Then we get out, we do our thing, and go back to the hotel, pregame meal. nap. Everything's going normal. Wasn't all that nervous. Was just going to go out there and do my thing. Out there for, pregame warm up. Seeing all the fans, filling in and everything like that was, so cool. But after Babs came in, gave his pregame speech, we're all lining up to go out the door. Stevie walks over and was like, "Oh, congrats! This is the first of many, kid. But you better not fucking lose tonight." And that's when the cheeks puckered up a little bit, and I was like, "Oh my god!" He's a superstar. He just told me better not lose tonight. So fortunately, the guys played really well in front of me, and we won 4-2. So that was my first NHL game experience. Wasn't expecting that to come out of Stevie's mouth, but
Chelios was probably ripping those slap shots with a wooden stick too.
With tacks on.
That's awesome.
Hey, Jimmy, is there a particular guy that you played against that just had like a heavier shot than anybody else that just kind of fucking hurt the shit out of you ever? Or what? Anybody that just kind of like stands out to you that their shot just kind of was a little bit more heavy than others?
Well, who do you think I'm going to say?
Shavers?
No.
Wait, before you say anything, let's try to guess.
Not Maples.
I'm going to say, who am I going to say? I'm going to say Ovechkin.
No.
That's what I was going to say.
Give me one more guess. Hardest shot.
The multiple choice.
Chara?
No.
On Detroit's team or a different team?
No, a different team.
God.
I mean, there's
Jeff Shazer playing?
Shaver. No.
What's that?
Year and what team?
No, say that again.
There too many years for me to try and narrow shit down. What year?
All right. He played for Nashville. He's now the captain of Montreal.
Shea Weber.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't bomb.
You get a stinger from him?
Just when you see him line up for a one-timer, you
close your eyes.
Either hits the glass or the back of the net. You do not want it to hit you whatsoever. Because they're 235 pounds behind that, and it's just humming. Chara's too big. Chara's never going to get a chance to get his big shot off unless it's in a skills competition.
That's true.
Where he gets a big wind up, able to skate in from center ice on the puck. That doesn't happen, in a game.
Sure.
Weber, he's 6 foot. Is he 6'3" or 6'4"?
We'll say 6'3". I don't know. He's tall.
He packs the puck.
What's an inch? Pat's been saying that his whole life.
I'm 6'3". I'm 6'3", so on the scorecard.
So he packs the puck. When he catches it, that thing is humming. And you just pray it doesn't hit you.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know how
you think the new sticks, like when they went, you were transitioned from the wooden sticks to the aluminum sticks to the whatever they are now, fucking
composite,
fiberglass composites. Yeah, is there a big difference in the speed?
100%. I mean, you've got fourth line guys now that when I first started, 14 years ago, you didn't even care about. He's not going to score on me with that. now they can all, whip it at you. So you're constantly, having to do your due diligence on guys, hands, what hands they shoot and everything like that. So where they're on when they're out on the ice, where they are. And it's these guys, these young kids now, they eat, sleep, and breathe hockey.
Yeah.
That's all they do. And, kudos to them because they've taken the game to a new level. But, I mean, with the new technology and everything like that, it's just amazing to see, a guy like Connor McDavid go down, dipsy do. Hey, but you've got fourth line guys now that can do it as well. So and fire just as hard.
Yeah. Squirrel probably helps out Squirrel's shot, right, Shaver? A little bit.
He was using fucking Skinner's Sherwood 50-30.
When I played with Shaver in college, SUNY Canton, I had the old Easton, Golden Easton with the blades that you put in the back. Shaver, you remember Travis Nelson? He used to have like 15 blades.
He cut the toe off the stick.
Right. It was shaved so that it was pointed.
Yeah.
He had hands like feet, but he could shoot the puck. Whatever.
It was just funny to go from since we've been kids playing the wood to the the Eastons to the now graphites, and what Jimmy just said, that fourth liners now actually increase their shots and speeds. It's crazy. The whole NHL is just so much faster now, and the shots and the speed of the game, and it's unreal. Dougie Gilmore said something the other day or tonight. I think he got introduced before the Maple Leafs game. Something about how would you defend an Austin Matthews, and he said, "Oh shit! Back in my day, I just wrapped my stick around him and pull him towards me.
Yeah,
slow him down.
Yeah. Can't do that.
Not anymore. It's a little faster.
You see
the best release in the NHL.
Oh, unreal! Hit the post tonight.
It is like he can snap it off from any position. Like it's ridiculous, and it's a P to where he wants it to go. Like, trust me, he scored plenty of goals on me. Like, let it fly.
What do you think, Jimmy? Is if you had a franchise, let's say you owned a franchise, you're a GM or Shaver. This question for you too. Who would you take? Connor McDavid? Would you take Connor McDavid if you had the choice to build your franchise, or an Austin Matthews?
Are those the only two we get to choose from?
Well, it's just I think those two are two better.
Anybody you want. Anybody.
Let them elaborate.
I'm taking Nate McKinnon.
Okay.
That's a good choice. Good choice.
How about you, Jimmy?
I'm gonna head south. I'm taking Victor Hedman.
Oh, okay. A defenseman, defenseman.
10 goals in the playoffs last year.
He is a beast, man. That guy, whenever you watch a Tampa Bay game, man, that guy's fucking insane.
Yeah, controls the game for sure when he's on the ice.
And my second pick is Zach Werenski.
Ooh, little Columbus guy. Nice. He's
Jack Eichel's probably going to be going somewhere soon. Fucking Sabres.
I don't know what's going on.
Don't get me started, Mark.
There's no way that they're going to trade him, right? I mean, Buffalo's done stupider stuff.
There's
but
plenty of ways they'll trade him. Look at what they did. They got rid of O'Reilly. He won a cup. They got rid of Bogosian. He won a cup. They get rid of Eichel. He's going to win a fucking cup somewhere.
Yeah, now we got two St. Lawrence County boys that won the cup. We got Jimmy and Zach. Let's get Greenway up there. We're actually talking, Jordan Greenway's my nephew, Jimmy, and I was telling him last night, I was talking to him that you were coming on tonight, and he played with you over in the Worlds, right? He played with you a little bit. He was talking about that, and he was at BU at the time, and just how like Johnny Gaudreau and Eichel and all those guys treated him over there. It was, they knew he didn't have any money. He actually said that he went over there with like $140, and he was trying to conserve that at the best he could, like bringing food from the USA's meals back to the room so he could eat it later. But when he would go out with you guys, everyone was handing him, $1,000 or $2,000. He said, I went back to BU with $7,000.
That kind of coin, but it was definitely handed him the beer or stuff.
Yeah. He went back to BU with like $6,500 or something. He said he just kept it.
I'm not sure you're supposed to say that out loud, but
we must have won a lot of card matches then.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Yeah, those young guys, they played cards all hours of the night.
Oh yeah.
That in
I was
Fortnite.
supposed to be the chaperone, and I was like, "Gosh, they're whatever." They're in their hotel rooms. They're not, they're not out and about. So
Yeah.
I got a question for you about the game, today's game. What did you think about the 3-on-3 overtime and then all the shootouts that they have now, and how much pressure comes down to the goalies to win the tight games in the shootout?
as a goalie, I think it's awesome. Like I love the shootouts, even when they weren't going well, because it was your time to score a goal for your team, right? Like I've never experienced scoring a goal, being a goalie. Never had the balls to shoot it, 200 feet. So, that was sort of my, moment to, to be able to shine. Like now, you didn't see it really early on when they did 3-on-3. Just like it was a horse race back and forth, down the ice, which was a lot of fun to watch. Now you see like everyone's possessing the puck, everyone's coming back to lane, making sure that they're get a good change and stuff like that, so you can go on the offense and try to catch the players that are out there for too long. So I mean, you got coaches, they're constantly scheming. Constantly, like their faces are behind a laptop or desktop 24/7. Like they're constantly thinking about it. So one thing about 3-on-3 was supposed to open it up and see the skill displayed in the NHL. Now the coaches have figured out how to shut that down. So I mean, it's like it's so tough because I mean, as a fan, like I love watching hockey probably just as much as all you guys. Like I love when I start seeing the tracking back and forth, like, chance after chance after chance. Like goalies, making a save, pushing the puck out, to spring someone else. Like that's fun.
Yeah.
Like 5-on-5 hockey, boring. It's gotten so bad. Like dump the puck in, face it down, chase it back into your own end. Like
dump it in, cycle.
Oh, cycle it. Find someone in the spot.
The one thing that gets me, Jimmy, and as a goalie in NHL now is the goalie interference, and we're all old school guys here. I'm still, some of the penalties I think are just absolutely ridiculous, but that's the way the NHL is moving, whatever. But what do you think about some of the goalie interference? You're kind of, the same age as us, kind of old school hockey. You've gone through the whole old school to the new school. Some of the goalie interference, is it kind of weak calls, or do you like those calls? Do you like, if they brush into your glove and, some of the calls, like the goalie wasn't going to make the save, but the player did touch them. So there's a no goal. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I loved them when they went my way when I was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, thank you. I need all the help I can get out here right now from some of these young guys. But listen, I think goalie interference should be pretty cut and dry. If you impede a goalie from making a save, then it should be no goal.
Yeah.
Like, I believe you're both entitled to the ice, but if the goalie gets there first and then the player, brushes up against him or impedes him in any what way of him stopping a shot that's going in that, then it's no goal. Like, I mean,
yeah, it's cut and dry.
Just right there. Like,
yeah, just some of them. It's so like, one. I guess it's up to the referee, in my opinion. Like sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't. I think they just got to do a little better at, I don't know how you do that.
Well, there's no like each referee, is going to decipher it different than the next. So, I mean, you also get Toronto involved, like when they're on the headset. So now you've got a third party involved in the game, other than two officials. So, like each set of officials that you're going to have are going to have a different outlook on what goalie interference is.
Yeah.
Like, it's just got to be cut and dry. Like, if the guy interferes with the goalie from stopping the shot from going into the net, then it should be no goal. Now, goalie, if you look at the video and you're like, guy has no shot in hell at stopping. And the first one that comes to mind that just happened like a week or two ago is the Canadians versus Sent, Matt Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it that cut out in front? Gallagher cut out in front.
That was a high stick.
Murray just a little bit. Murray gets set, and then the puck goes in the net. Like that should have been a goal in my eyes.
Right.
I was actually amazed when I was watching it the next morning on the NHL Network that they called it no goal. Because I was like, he had plenty of time to find the puck out in front of him. And the shot came from the blue line. It's not like it was a bang-bang play.
Yeah.
It was out at the top of the offensive zone. So, I just feel like they got to, find a better way of using the whole gray area. Is this a goal? Is this not a goal?
Yeah. As a fan, I'm always extremely biased on that call, depending on who I'm rooting for. It's like, oh no, that wasn't fucking interference. And like the coaches are the same way, the players are the same way. They're looking at it like, no, that's fucking goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever. It depends on who you're rooting for, where you're going with that call. But I mean, unless you're like just totally neutral watching a game, but it's funny. This happened to the Wild last night or the night before. I think Greenway hit the glove of the goalie when he had it covered, and they called it back. So happens all the time now.
Yeah, you can't, but I'm still a firm believer. You can't push a pad across the goal line to have the puck go in or anything like that. Like, no.
Yeah.
There's sometimes like we're in a position where we can't defend ourselves, but we have it covered, right? And all it takes is a little nudge, and
sure.
Yeah.
You think the goalies are as protected these days as they used to be? I mean, you used to touch a goalie and be fucking fisticuffs.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean?
Not at all. One of my worst fears was, as the games evolved, is with the D-men not being able to hold up or not being able to put a stick on someone, is a guy turning a corner and just coming straight to the net.
Yeah.
Because as a goalie, you got to hold that post. That you can't give it up. Because if it goes short side, you got 20,000 people that are going to be pissed off at you. So you got to hold that ground, and you just you're kind of defenseless because your head's sticking straight out there, and you got your hands in position, but nothing's really protecting you.
Yeah.
But when that guy turns the corner, it was my worst fear. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get crushed.
Well, the strange part today is there's some teams that can't defend their goaltenders. They physically don't have the bodies that would grab somebody and rip their helmet off and just fucking give it to them. They don't have those guys on their teams right now.
No, a lot of teams, don't. But that's a transition that the NHL is making. It's all about speed, creativity, goals, the flashy plays. Like, those guys are, unfortunately becoming, extinct.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one, policing the red line.
Right.
In the earlier days, or 14 years ago, like an Aaron Downey, for instance, who's just out there, ripping push-ups by the blue or center ice. Warm up. Hey, you don't see that anymore. Hey, everything's so skilled. All 4 lines have to play the same way. The top 2 lines get a little bit more of a rope than the bottom 2, but it's every team's pretty much cookie cutter for themselves.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with activating the defenseman now, and like the offensive defenseman, as opposed to some of the older school guys that are stay-at-home guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure the goalies probably would prefer the guys that are staying at home more and not leaving you hung out to dry on a 3-on-2 or 3-on-1 with a forward playing defense.
Oh, brings me back to Brad Stewart. One of the best. That guy, he would lay down in front of any shot. I mean, he probably had a better butterfly than I did. Just 8 pucks. He's the modern day Ian Cole. Guy that just eats puck. Like, Stewie, like, there'd be times he'd drop down in front of me, like, block a shot right in the butterfly. I'd be like, Stewie, great butterfly. He was awesome to have in front of me my, first 4 or 5 years in the league.
Nice.
Jimmy, I'm going to take you back a little bit. I don't know if it was 8, 9, 10 years ago you were in an interview with somebody, and Gordie Howe jumped in on you. And what was it like meeting fucking Gordie Howe?
That was really cool. It wasn't the first time that I met him. It was a surprise for him to come around the corner and jump in the conversation in a media scrum. Like normally, like Mr. Lindsay, Mr. Howe would come around in the mornings, pregame skate practices, stuff like that. And, like Mr. Lindsay would go from stall to stall all the way around, make sure he talked to every single guy. Same thing with, Mr. Howe, all the way around. Say hello, how are you doing? Like everything. Like it's pretty surreal because, obviously him being Mr. Hockey, he's meant so much to the game. But also, with Mr. Lindsay, like he's meant just as much with the game. I mean, Christ, the league, one of the league's best trophies is named Ted Lindsay Award.
Yeah.
Like, so it was pretty awesome to be able to, see those guys around the dressing room, and just be able to sit down and say hello and, have a normal conversation. And a lot of the times it had nothing to do about hockey.
Yeah.
I'm not in any way trying to compare, the career I never had, but I'm just wondering, I walked away before I never had a chance, right? So I'm trying to figure out how that feels for you right now, walking away from the game you gave everything to. I never got a shot, but, it's got to be hard to walk away even after 14 years, right?
I mean, really, no. I knew I was done. I mean, maybe, this whole pandemic played into it. Like, obviously, if it would have been a normal season after last year and it was a normal summer and training camp picked up in September, might have been, some sort of, oh God, I wish I was still out there. But as it dragged on and, as the league and everything pushed farther and farther away, like I got more and more comfortable being at home. I got more and more comfortable, interacting with my wife and my kids.
Sure.
Like that's a big thing. Like people don't understand when we're on, we're constantly gone. We're constantly on the road. We're constantly at the rink. Like that interaction that you want with your kids and your wife isn't always necessarily there. So as everything with the pandemic, pushed on, like everything, the bonds, the friendships and everything, came back together. and I was really enjoying myself. So when, all the teams came calling, I had no problem saying, sorry, you're too late to the party. Like, if you would have wanted, you should have called back in October when free agency opened.
Sure.
Like, even when Kenny called me, and I think of Kenny Holland as, one of my second dads. The way he treated me, the way, he was strict on me but fair, everything like that. And when he called me, I was like, Kenny, you're about a month and a half too late. Hey, I'm done. I was like, I'm about to go pick James up from school, and we're heading to Chicago for a showcase. So, like, I knew I was done.
So no
Yeah, that's
chance.
cool. I mean, I think what Bobby's
coming
alluding
out.
to kind of is, I think, like a lot of pro athletes talk about like the struggle they have, like once they retire, like adapting to like a normal life and stuff like that. But it sounds like you're having no problem with that at all, which is great, man.
Yeah, which I think also stems from the pandemic. Like, that's the most time we've had, as a family ever. Like, during the summers, like, normally I'll be in Maine at our lake house, and then I'm out. Back in Detroit training and everything like that, I'm in, I'm out. So, like, this pandemic, it's kind of helped me adjust because, even though I knew at the beginning of December that I was done, there was also, enough leeway time into the season where I could adjust and wrap my head around it that, I'm not going to be playing in the NHL this year.
Yeah.
For us, we were all talking. It was kind of crazy because there's a ton of teams that could have used you from our perspective. We didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, no idea. But we thought for sure there was going to be some team that would be calling and saying, hey, we need you somewhere. Again, I don't know the details or anything, but I figured there would be some teams that could fucking use you.
No, I mean, there was New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Edmonton,
Carolina down here. Carolina.
I'm missing two off the top of my head, but I mean, like I said,
Colorado, Columbus.
So there were calls.
Yeah, like I just like Trevor Daly, my good buddy, called me now that he's in front office for Pittsburgh. I go, is this a friendship call or is this a business call? He goes, a little bit of both. I go, let's just get down to the business. And then he goes, okay, we want to bring you on the PTO. I said, not going to happen. So I was like, Dallas, really a PTO?
Yeah, right.
No.
Not happening. So, I mean, it was like 2012 is when you signed your last big deal with Detroit. As a player, getting that, it was a 6-year deal, I believe. Big contract. Is that like, were you just like ecstatic when you got the number that you deserved and, coming from a two-year contract with maybe half the money? I mean, even, it's got to be pretty cool to sign a contract like that where you just like fucking, this is awesome. Like, what goes through your head when you sign a $30 million deal?
Well, this is what you set out to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what you want to be able to take care of your family, first and foremost. And that was the biggest thing, is to be able to give, not only my wife, but my children, the life that I never had. And I think that's what, every father, wants to do is, give their, like, shouldn't say every father, but most fathers, want to give, their child, a better life that they had. So that was the biggest thing, coming from, that contract when I signed it, was that I was going to be able to, provide a family provide for my family, the longevity that it need.
Sure. So Jimmy, before we let you go, what's new? What are you going to do now? As athletes, we continue to play, men's league. We take up golf. We play softball. I know you're a softball guy. I know you play a little bit of golf, baseball or soft.
No, golf. Come on.
Golf. All right. Well, golf. So how's that? Are you gonna just taking that game a little bit more? I see Shaver's been practicing his swing. I saw your swing on Instagram. Looking pretty good, John, actually.
Well, I'm going to take my game from an 8 down to hopefully a 2-1 or scratch. Like that's.
Really? You're that good?
That's what I want to do. And
wow.
Yeah, a lot of it's got to do with the short game. Sometimes I get the yips, with the wedge around the green. So got to work on that. Like I said, I've got some things in my back pocket that, I'm able to do, but or I hopefully will be able to do. So, yeah. But right now, first and foremost, get the handicap down from an 8 to, 2-1, something very respectable.
Have you golfed with Shaver? How's this game going these days? He says he's scratched, but
far from it.
No.
You see how quiet he got there?
Yeah. A lot of scratches on the scorecard, maybe.
Yeah, I fucking scratch my balls. That's about it.
You sent me an Instagram meme tonight with a golf ball on it that says, "Just use it. I'm giving the game up," and that's like Shaver every single fall. Get rid of my clubs. Get rid of my clubs. I don't want them. Hey,
I hate this game.
I threw my clubs in the pond at State Park on number 9.
I've only done that once.
Hey, Jimmy, you got any clubs you could send me? I threw mine in the pond.
I'm sure Shaver's got a couple.
Yeah, I got a lot of them that are in 2 pieces. You got to get them back together, but
yeah.
We just went to Golf Galaxy last week. Me and Maddie Morley. We're ready.
Nice. Ready to roll.
You guys teammates in the old country club up there, right? In the league?
He plays with Peru. I play with Skinner.
That's right.
It's a shit show.
At the state park?
I can't believe we haven't been fucking kicked out of there yet.
Can you still use the roof over there to get onto, what is it, 9th green or something like that, or what?
Yeah, you can play the roof. If you get it, pitching wedge up on the roof, rips it right down to about 6 feet every time.
I've done that. That.
The girls in the clubhouse don't appreciate it because it scares the shit out of them. But
yeah, wake up!
It's a ballsy play.
Nice.
I like that.
Well, boys, it's been fun having you on, Jimmy. It sounds like you're enjoying your retirement, and kudos to you to be able to just leave the game behind and focus on family. That's definitely a respectable thing, and you had an awesome career. All the way up from playing with the Black Bears to the Olympics, and winning a Stanley Cup, and 14 years in the league. Unbelievable, especially being a North Country guy from where we grew up. We always, followed you around, and I definitely think you created a lot of Detroit Red Wings fans in St. Lawrence County over the last 14 years, man. So
yeah,
it's probably doubled in red and white jerseys.
Once and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy, for coming on. Great career, man.
No problem.
Shaver, you going to stay on with us and talk a little bit more, or you got to go to bed?
If you want me to, I just got to go to work tomorrow. I don't care.
All right, you stay on. Thanks for helping us get Jimmy on. What an amazing career. I know you're one of his good friends and biggest fans, but it was kind of probably tough for you. What did you think about him retiring? Did you think it was time, or, us guys on the podcast, we were like, fuck, we thought he had another 2 years, right? Shaver, he had another 2.
Off, I think. Or I was definitely, I'll speak for myself. I was a little pissed not to see him go somewhere and pick up some sort of fucking time there.
He deserves it to do what he wants to do, but I was pissed. When he told me he was done, it was because like he had said with the COVID and everything slowed down. And the one thing that people don't understand is a lot of the teams weren't going after free agents because they didn't know what the cap was going to be. They didn't know how the year was going to play out. So a lot of people are just stuck with what they had in the AHL and what they had in their organization. So when he said, I'm done, I was like, what the fuck, man, that sucks. But, I mean, you deserve it. He started coaching his kid. And, I mean, we all play. We have kids. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So selfishly, I wanted him to keep going. He's definitely could do another 2 years for sure.
Yeah.
He'll never say it, but the last 4 years, I mean, he played on some bad teams.
Yeah.
And especially last year, man, you saw a lot of fucking rubber. It couldn't have been much fun last year.
Yeah, like 5-on-5 shots against, he was like number 1 in the NHL. Like, and you know, we were talking, you can't let these guys come in and just shoot like they do. But he never once you never heard him say, my team wasn't good in front of me tonight. The defense sucks. He always just said, I got to make saves. And I respect the shit out of him for doing that. He's just, good. He's a real good pro, you know?
Yeah. It was great. Let's get into some NHL talk. Yeah, go ahead.
You guys want to? We got a commercial for the wraparound hockey.
Grab your drinks.
We just got a quick before we talk. Take a leak, guys, and do what you got to do. But wraparound, they go on your stick, Rob. Show them how they go on. It's really easy. You just put them on your stick, and to save your blade. I mean, if you got young kids like Shaver, kids are playing hockey, these save the blades. I mean, hockey sticks are $150, $200. You put this on the blade, and they can protect this stick while they're doing street hockey. So
you see how Rob commercial? Did you see how Rob stroked that down so well? He's got experience.
Little quick break, boys. We'll be right back.
We get the question a lot of what surface can I use the hockey wraparound on? You can use it on any surface from smooth concrete to the roughest asphalt. Today, we'll be shooting on asphalt in my driveway. Alright, a few common questions we get asked about wraparound while casing shooting. Number 1, wraparounds work on both left and right-handed stick. It's 1 unit for each. 2, the size of your stick. Whether you're youth, intermediate, or senior, the wraparound will cut down to the length of your stick so that you can use it no matter what. Another thing about the wraparound is we've completely covered the toe of the stick so that you can practice your toe drags and other things while you're outside. One of the best features about the wraparound is it eliminates the small spaces that you may have with a shooting board or other training tools. Literally, the entire earth is your surface to play on. Go.
All right, we saw some really good wrist shots there. But that's the wraparound, boys. They could definitely use them down here in Florida because it's nice all year round. We got a net out at the end of the driveway that my boys like to mess around with, and we've got separate sticks for that because the pretty much the bottom of the stick just gets worn right off on the asphalt. So pretty good idea, man. Some of these new hockey training things have really helped these young kids be able to play hockey wherever they are, if they're inside, like with the super digger and stuff like that. All kinds of cool training stuff that I've never had when I was a kid. So it's good stuff to for these guys to get some off ice training. So get on their website and check it out.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I mean, you guys remember playing street hockey and our wooden sticks. We had wooden sticks back in the day, and
couple
you
slippers.
could a couple slippers. It would just wear on the bottom. And what this does for the composite is saves that composite stick, so they can keep it. Save you $150, $200. So it's a great product. It's a hockey wraparound. Go there and check it out. But yeah, so
All right,
a little
cool.
bit.
Some hockey news.
The one thing I wanted to talk about was Buffalo. We got Rob on here, big Buffalo Sabres guy. There were some rumors that they're going to trade. Who knows what they said? The offers were out there. People were, giving them offers for Jack Eichel. Would it be stupid? I mean, Faber, Rob, what do you guys think, Mark? I mean, obviously,
man. I think they might be able to get like a whole line for them. They might help them propel their team into some win columns. But
if I was Buffalo, I would want at least 4 guys, right? Maybe a draft pick. What do you guys think?
If I was Buffalo, I wouldn't want to get rid of a Jack fucking Eichel.
No, I don't think they will. It's all speculation, but
yeah,
think,
I mean,
Shaver?
it depends. Like what his production is and stuff like that. He's obviously a great player. But I do watch other teams in the league where they're getting a lot of production out of their third and fourth lines, and having a team that has 4 good lines or at least 3 good lines with a good defensive line in there that's playing some man down and stuff. It's hard to win. Like look at Edmonton, the Draisaitl and McDavid up there. It's hard to win with just a couple of superstars. So, does Buffalo have enough where Eichel can propel them, or can they get 3 guys that are going to contribute and score goals, on the regular? I don't know. I mean, that's what I see. I see these teams with the superstars, that don't have a lot around them. They can't do it by themselves anymore. It's not like the game used to be. The game is so fast. They can't do it on their own, and you need a good balanced team with at least 3 good lines to do anything. I mean, the fourth line's playing just 2-3 minutes less than the first line these days. Your top players.
He's the captain. You're going to sell your captain away? I don't know. I don't quite understand it.
But. Take some notes from Montreal and Ottawa.
What do you think, Shaver? It's just a mess there. What would you do?
He's given him everything he's had. It kind of sucks to be him. He's never complained, but he's in a lose-lose situation. They suck. You're right. They have no defense. They have no goaltending. When your best players on your team are your third and fourth liners, that says a lot about your team. You can't get the puck out of your own zone. So you guys on the offense that are supposed to be scoring are null. Like, it doesn't matter. And then your grinders are the guys showing up because that's what they're fucking supposed to do.
Right.
So,
tough call, man.
How do you get rid of him? But, I mean, he's at a point now where he's just like, all right, I've never complained. I've given you everything. We suck. We don't.
What would you have to get for him, John, though? If you were the GM, let's say you were going to trade him, like, how many guys would you have to get for him? Like, easily 3 guys, right?
You got to get 3 roster players and a first and a second.
Yeah, easily. That's what Rob and I were talking about the other day. We were saying at least 3-4 guys in a draft pick.
You got to get 3 guys that can play right now.
Yeah, that can be a second line that can produce, or a couple first lines. Players
they never do anything with defense, though. Like, I know Robbie's a Buffalo guy. I'm a big Bills guy. Sabres, I watch him more, but because I don't really watch the Wings that much anymore.
Yeah.
But they just never do anything with their defense. Their defense sucks.
Yeah,
and they got that Dowling kid. Like, he was a first rounder, but I mean, he's more of an offensive guy than defensive.
Yeah,
it's definitely soft. They got rid of Bogosian.
Right. Well, he wanted the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Where are they in the? They're way down. Look at that. Fuck.
Yeah. So
what I would say. Look at that, minus 14 goal differential. Like, that's just fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, did everyone on the pot, everyone here tonight, expect Buffalo to do much better this year? Like, bring Taylor Hall in. Like, what the fuck? What do they got to do there?
they brought Taylor Holland and they've already re-signed him. Like they like what they saw there.
They got Stahl too, right? They brought
Stahl from Wild,
but he's a lazy player. I mean, watch some of the Wild for a
He's
couple of
done.
years.
He's made his money. It is what it is. Jeff Skinner contract is the biggest joke in the NHL.
Yeah. It's just a mess down there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's for Jack Eichel, like Shaver said, it just sucks for him because he's giving all he can. It's just how do you go to the rink and be fired up? And you must just go there dragging your feet and fucking.
You're going in hoping that you're only -2 for the night.
Yeah. I mean, really, I mean, that's try to be positive, try to be +1. I mean, or even. It's awful.
Yeah.
But they do have some players, like you talk about Halsey.
Well, they have players, yeah.
A Skinner, Reinhardt kid or whatever. They have some players. What's that?
Or
Casey Middlestat.
Casey Middlestat.
Like you said, needs some better defensive players, a goalie. You can't win in the NHL unless you have a good goalie. I mean, the team's scoring too many goals now. I mean, like we talked about before, you need to score at least 3 goals a game to try to win a game. So if you're only scoring 1-2 goals a game, you're not going to win games. Unless you have like a stud goalie that can, hold other teams to 1 goal or 2 goals. It's just not happening anymore. I mean, you look at the scores of the games. It's 5-4, 4-3. I mean, you have to be somewhat defensive to hold teams to 2 goals. Because it's if you can't and your team can't score 3 goals, that's the kind of the number they talk about to win games. So they need to figure out how to keep teams under that 3-goal mark, and I think that's the biggest struggle.
But that's the regular season too, though. Like Toronto is the biggest Houdini team in the NHL. They're going to light everyone up, and then once the playoffs start, they're going to be nothing.
They suck. Yeah, they suck. Yeah,
Matthews is on a streak now, but he should. Can he keep it up the second half? Like going into the playoffs, you want him to be on that streak. It's hard to be that good for that many games. I mean, he's peaking at the wrong time, really, the season. I mean, fuck, what do you care? You're scoring goals every night, but it's tough to keep that up for too long. He's just been on fire. But like I said, Toronto is just one of those teams that just lets their fans down every year. I do think that the Lightning is a really good team, and the Florida Panthers have actually had a decent season so far. Kind of a surprise there to see them winning as many games as they are, and then you have a nice coach down there, Quenneville.
Yeah, let's go right around the divisions real quick in here and talk about what's going on. Like, we just talked about the East. Like, what surprises you there? Like, it's not Boston's down. Washington just beat Boston tonight, so they got another 2 points. Islanders. I mean, I think this might be I guess my question is what division do you guys like best? I mean, what's the most?
Well, I want to stop and before we go further, I want to stop and ask John. First of all, what do you think of the way the NHL, divvied up these divisions? The North or the Canadian division.
I think the 3 divisions that we have in the States was probably the best way travel-wise, and the biggest mistake they made, but it wasn't a mistake because it's what they had to do, was an all-Canadian division, because now all the people north of the border have a boner, and they expect this nonstop.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of boner, the old landing strip in Toronto, who's been there? Have you been there, Shaver?
No, just the limit in Prescott.
Yeah, okay. I
think the East of – go ahead, Ben.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Mark.
No, I was going to say that East division, I think is, if I had to, pick what the division was going to do before the year started, I think it's pretty close to where I would think it was going to be. I mean, the Islanders were pretty good at the end of last season, the Bruins, Caps, and Philadelphia came on at the end of last year. Those 4 teams were probably the best teams in that division last year. And then the last 4 teams were pretty much the teams that were like borderline, expect the Rangers maybe had some life at the end of last season, but not enough to do much. And the other three teams, I think, probably were going to fall in that bottom half. So I don't think there's too many surprises in the East so far this year.
Right. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, Philly, Vegas, I think, is probably the biggest surprise for me. I mean, I watched them 2 nights ago against the Wild. They do look very good, but I thought that the Blues in Colorado would be above them. And the Kings have kind of surprised me too, how well they've been playing.
The biggest thing, though, is the COVID bullshit.
Yeah.
Like with some of these teams, they started off with, issues with that. Right
2 weeks off.
Right. So it's a weird 56-game sprint. But
yeah, and then packing 2 weeks into the rest of the season because they missed 5 games, so now teams are doubling up, and it's tough to go back to back to back with the same fucking team.
Yeah, that was going to be my, for me, that's a big question, because you start off, you're playing the same team 3 or 4 times. And, that's not normal, right? So at least when the divisions were the way they used to be, you have a chance to go play some teams. You might win some, you might lose some. But when you get back to your division and you're playing in the division, at least you know how to buckle up and make some changes. But when you're playing the same team 4 times in a row, like Montreal started out of the gates like 8-1, 9-1, and then they're not doing so great. So, to me, this season it's just strange altogether because some teams that you thought were going to do well, just the way their games were set up, I don't think they could find the success. Like we're looking at the Canadian division. Vancouver's a better team than they're showing. I believe they are. I mean, Calgary's a better team. I don't think Montreal would be in the same position if they were, still playing in the Atlantic, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Right. So, the teams that are having success right now, even Toronto sitting at the top of the North, I'm not sure that they're going to be sitting at the top of.
Yeah, but who do they got to play? Boston? Boston's the only one that can give them a competition if it was back to, so I don't know. Toronto's a legit team. You can't take that away from them just because they have it in the Canadian division. I actually think they might win the cup this year.
Well, we'll see. They have to play.
Shaver doesn't like that.
I think one thing that I kind of think about with this format for this shortened season is that the standings are skewed, in my opinion, of who the best teams are because they're only playing teams in their division. So, Toronto is not playing Boston. They're not playing Tampa Bay. They're not playing the Capitals or, some of the better teams in the East. So they're just playing the Canadian teams, right? So if you have teams that aren't playing that well in your division, it makes you look really good because you're not playing the rest of the league like you usually do, where usually you're playing every fucking team at some point throughout the year. You might get to play some teams like Buffalo or the Senators or some of the shittier teams in the league and get easy wins too. So that skews your win column up a little bit, but it's just funny, how the way it is, and to see the teams on the top of their divisions. Are they really the best team, one of the best teams in the league, or is their division just kind of weak? Or I don't know. It's definitely skewed in my opinion.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, Mark. Colorado is another team that, look, we had Jared Bednar on, and we thought for sure that they would be maybe closer to, first in that West Division. But they're sitting 4th right now behind Minnesota, St. Louis, and Vegas. It just does not feel like the teams that are having the success right now are the ones that would normally have, the same kind of success.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is, and that's what we got to deal with. It's kind of the asterisk season, I guess. That's what I call it, the asterisk season. But one last thing that I wanted to talk about before we all can get off and hit the sack was, I don't know if you guys heard, but Zach Parise's a healthy scratch tonight. What do you guys think about that?
Oh shit, man. Well, I watched the games going on right now. I'm gonna catch it after we leave here, some of it. But the his performance has been pretty poor. I mean, he's been moved down to the third line. He hasn't had much production except for like 2 weeks ago. He had a couple points like right in a row, a couple games in a row. But he hasn't been having a great season. But he also isn't playing with playmakers. Like he's playing with like a Foligno and Rask or something like that, which, he's used to playing with two of the top guys on the team, with a Fiala or a Zuccarello or somebody like that that's going to be feeding that puck to the net, and he grinds and, around the net and gets goals. So, take a guy like that, put him with some less caliber skilled players. Can he still make it happen? Can he be the guy that's creating on that line to make it happen for those three guys? And I don't think he's been able to step up to that point. He's a hard worker, right? He's a goal scorer, but he's a hard worker and he grinds for most of his goals in front of the net. So I see that being one of his issues, is him getting bumped down, not playing with the top guys anymore.
It's a lot of money in the stands, man. I mean,
right.
A lot of money on that fucking healthy scratch. That's for sure.
That hurts.
Maybe he gets traded.
Who's gonna pay? Who's gonna fucking absorb that contract that he's got? No one. And they're losing right now to Vegas 1-0. They should have won. They should have beat Vegas the other night. They're playing okay right now. They got Krill, Dollar Bill, Kriprasov, who's putting the puck in the net, leading scorer. But Parise, he got benched because the last shift when the Vegas tied it up in regulation, he was out there for almost 2 minutes, and I guess the head coach was a little pissed. He had an opportunity to change, and he didn't change. He stayed out there kind of hoping he could get a point. And they actually, according to NHL.com, Dean Evison talked to him and said, listen, we can't have this. Any other player, rookie, whatever, I'd have to sit him. So I'm going to sit you tonight. So could be an eye opener, but like you said, Mark, he's not a flashy player. I mean, I grew up idolizing him, but he scores like the puck bounces off his neck and goes into the goal. I mean, it's nothing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's had a lot of good players around him for most of his career on the first line, and power play. I mean, say what you will, if you're a power play guy, your numbers are going to be inflated. Yeah. Same thing if you're playing with the top two guys on the team every night. When you go down to play with
no matter what,
you're playing with the grinders. You go down to play with the line that's out there playing defense. That's their role, is to play defense and hit people and shit, and maybe get a goal here and there. So it changes how hard he has to work for points, right? But I understand what you're saying. The guy's staying out on the ice too long, and it's hard for a coach to put a player like that on the bench for sure. I mean,
it sounds like he was just kind of being selfish. Like, I guess he's point hungry, wants to get points, and it backfired on him. So
yeah, I think they ran that team for a long time with Stahl and Parise and fucking who else was I missing here?
Koivu was there forever.
Koivu, yeah. Where they kind of were telling the coach what to do for a number of years.
And the GM.
When Bruce Bordeaux was there, they were kind of running the show and telling Bruce what was going on. I know Jordan expressed that a couple of times when he was first there. These guys are running the team, not the coach. Yeah. Well, I like it. We light a fire under his ass. Maybe he comes back next game and
the Wild wins the cup this year. What do you think, Shaver?
What's that?
Minnesota Wild's going to win the cup.
No.
Come on, let's get three guys from St. Lawrence County. 3-1-5.
If they would have won last night, they would have been probably one of the hottest teams in the league as far as wins in a row. But they didn't end up losing in overtime. But they've been on a hot streak.
They're playing
the Kings.
well.
Yeah, they're playing.
The Kings actually were on a hot streak for a while there. They smoked the Wild like 2 weeks ago, and the Wild ended up beating them the last two games.
You guys think we can turn Shaver into a Wild fan? You think we can get him on next time with the Wild jersey or shirt?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we can get some free gear for him,
I'll shoot him some free gear.
We could buy him. We could buy him into being a fan.
Fuck, hook me up with some socks. I'm in.
Oh, boys. Well, it's been a good podcast. You guys have any other news you want to talk about, or ready
That's
to wrap
it.
up?
We didn't talk about the Canadians getting rid of Claude Julien.
I have one beer left, so I can talk.
Okay.
So go ahead. Let's talk about the Canadians pulling the trigger a little bit early. You know, they were really hot. I mean, obviously they won a bunch of games at the beginning of the season. You know, coach was doing great, best coach in the league.
Fired the coach and the goalie coach.
Yeah, but they're so biased. Like they always want a coach that's fucking speaks Canadian or French. And it's just why are you trying to do that? There's just we all grew up on the border. Shaver obviously can spit into Canada, but we've been to Montreal. We go there for New Year's or whatever. But they're so hardcore on that French speaking and French Canadian, and is it backfiring on them? It almost is. Like there's good coaches out there. Like you know what I mean, Shaver? Why do you have to? Why do you have to have a French-speaking fucking coach? It's just kind of.
In Quebec, they don't like English people as much. That's why.
Not even close. Like we used to go there every year when Jimmy would go there, and my wife would go, and it was always the worst road trip ever because I really hate to say it, but the people are assholes.
They are French frogs.
They absolutely are, and the organization caters to them, and I think, their last cup was in 1993, and I don't think that's a coincidence. They just.
Yeah, I heard Patrick Waugh was in the running for the position.
Like, why do they think they have to have a French Canadian coach? Is it like they're that hardcore? Like they want to keep it?
Yeah.
Like.
It's a French speaking.
Well, that's fine.
Someone's got to talk to the press there, and I'm sure they don't want him to do it in English.
Well, that's fine. Then keep losing. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Well, that's where they're at right now, right?
I just think it's stupid how fast they fire coaches. I mean, the guy obviously had a great run in the beginning. I mean, the teams go through little slumps. I mean, if it was a regular season and you lose 5 or 6 games, big fucking deal, But I guess with a 56-game season, maybe they were a little more apt to pull the trigger quickly. But we've seen it a couple of times where teams have been, like with Jersey a couple of years ago, they had 4 coaches, and just at some point, it's not the coach's fault, right? You need to make some changes. The front office needs to make some trades, whatever it is. You can't polish a turd type thing. And, I think it just falls on the coach and, front office. We'll change the coach and we're going to start winning. But, I mean, sometimes it's valid, right? Bruce Boudreau, I think that was a good he had a good time there. He was there quite a while. They weren't winning, and they left Dean in as the interim, and he's doing great. The Blackhawks sent in Quenneville to Florida. Look at Florida. 2 years later, they're winning games, and teams firing legendary coaches and thinking that they're going to, pick up some other person that's going to make them win.
But also, coaches get to stay longer too because of situations like Detroit. Jeff Blashill is over his head. He doesn't push the right buttons, but he also doesn't have the players to coach. He's going to not be the coach next year, but there's no sense of firing him this year because it's a gong show. So what are you going to do? You're going to fire him and bring in someone else that's going to coach them? They're not good. I mean, everyone knows they're not good. They don't have the pieces. They don't have the players. They're too young. They're not ready. So just let him ride out this shitstorm and then get rid of them when you get the people you need. They're 4 years away from even being over 500. Sadly, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, they're minus 30 goal differential, minus fucking 30.
I was going to say, how bad does it have to be for Greece to come in from, a solid New York Islanders team to just getting shelled?
Right. It sucks. But those are the things that bothered me, that like everyone took issue with Jimmy having a career worst year last year. But it's with the people in front of him and the way that they played, no one was going to have success there. Zero.
Yeah.
And then he took all the shit and he just put it upon themselves, said, hey, I got to make saves. But they had, guys out there playing defense that, if I would have lost 15 pounds, I probably could have been their sixth defenseman.
You probably could have.
And I don't play defense. I mean,
no back checking.
No.
Well, to me, we said the same thing, John. All last year we were saying this is not Jimmy Howard's fault. This is not his fault. You basically fire him, send him off to retirement, and you have the same results. To me, that's vindication for Jimmy. And I'm glad he gets to, say I'm going to retire on my own terms. Now I'm leaving.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and that's what he always said. He never paid attention to the outside stuff. He was a true professional. He never threw his guys out there, and he just said, it's time to go. So.
Yeah, I think he kind of wanted to retire and from Detroit too. I don't know if he mentioned it or you mentioned it that he wanted to stay there until he was done and not move his family anywhere or be away from his family, to go play. So that's probably a big factor. To go to another city, he's not going to get up and move for a year or two, right? So his family's going to stay there, and he's going to have to fucking go live somewhere else for the season. And that's at that point, when he's got kids that he wants to watch play and coach and shit like that, is it worth it? He's made a ton of money. It's not like he needs to play another year to pad his bank account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, he's a competitor, and he knew it was time. It was over.
Yeah. 14 years. I mean, that's a pretty long career, right? You had a great career, I think. And
all with the same team, which is
all with the same team.
That's huge.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't happen anymore.
Oh.
So
I really enjoyed hearing, I'd forgotten about his, his earlier seasons and all of the, future Hall of Famers that he played with.
Yeah. Huge.
Like most guys have no idea what that even feels like. Right. So he's had a career, he's lived it.
Yeah, and if he did play another year for another team, like these guys are going to play for a bag of pucks, like we talk about, these discounted veterans now that are going to play for $750, less money than they're paying the entry guys. Is it worth it to go do that and sacrifice, for the amount of money they're going to pay them? Because they're not going to pay any of these guys on their last couple of years anymore. None of them are getting any money. They're all discounted players. They're all paying the young guys now. So, I mean, that's another part, like to make that huge sacrifice where you're going to be getting, you go from $5-6 million a year to fucking $750 after the, taxes and union fees and all that shit. He's getting like what, $400,000 or $500,000. Shit, it's a lot of money, obviously to us, but somebody that's had a $30 million contract, is it worth it for the sacrifice you got to make to go to another team, just to keep it going.
Right.
Sorry, boys. The dog just went crazy.
Well, we appreciate everyone coming on, John. We appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you hooking us up with Jimmy. We know you and Jimmy are good friends. Thank you so much for getting him on. It kind of sucks. We can't watch Jimmy anymore on the big screen in the NHL on the show, but we still got Zach Bogosian. He's still in there. We got Jordan Greenway. We got a couple boys from our hometown still playing. So hockey's still big in the 3-1-5.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I mean, when the Red Wings were playing and there was, a bunch of games on, didn't know what to watch, I'm not a Red Wings fan, but I'd throw the game on and see if Jimmy was in net. If he was in net, I'd watch the game. If he wasn't in net, that night, I'd switch to a different game. But I always checked in on the Red Wings to see if he was playing, to catch him in the nets. And, I'm going to miss that as far as being able to watch him. And obviously John has been watching his whole career and been going to his games every year and shit like that. So kind of sucks for you, Johnny, that you can't, take the boys to the Red Wings games and watch them anymore. I'm sure you could still take them to the games. It won't be the same,
Outdoor games.
No, absolutely not.
Baker, how many sets of pads do you think Jimmy's acquired over the years?
None, because they all are sold.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
For the foundation?
Doesn't get to keep any of them.
Oh, they're sold by the organization?
Yeah, so like when you go to Detroit, when you go to their new arena, they have a huge shop where you can buy literally any piece of equipment that you want. You can buy skates, sticks, elbow pads, gloves, goalie blockers, gloves.
They do that here in Raleigh around.
Yeah. So
yeah, I guess I didn't realize they had I didn't think they had. I thought they had the choice to put that stuff in there.
Not in Detroit, because even like his helmets, he has one helmet from the Winter Classic, and he actually had to pay for it because they were going
out of here.
No, they were going to auction that helmet off. So when the game was over, they came in, they were going to grab the helmet from him, and he's like, "No, I'm keeping this." And they're like, "No, that's going up for auction." And he said, "No, I'm taking this home." And they said, "Well, you can take it, but you're going to pay for it." And a couple weeks later, they came to him with a number that they thought that it would, raise on an auction, and he had to buy it.
Oh, shit.
So at his house, he has that helmet, and then he has his Olympic helmet. But yeah, no, in Detroit, everything is sold.
No shit.
That's fucking gay, man.
That's the same thing here in Raleigh. Like, we can go to the Canes. They have like an auction where they sell all old equipment and for price. So yeah. No shit.
Pretty gay.
I think we're actually. So how close are you guys to Pinehurst?
We're about an hour. No, not a couple hours. Hour north.
Okay.
We go there and play on the. I've taken my family down there. And we putt on that big green there, so we're not too far.
Yeah.
About an hour.
We think probably in June there's 8 of us coming in for a 4-dayer at Pinehurst number 2.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, let me know, John.
Yeah.
I'll might take a swing down. I'll try to get me, Rob, and Telfer maybe, and
Yeah,
maybe
we're trying to set it up with Maddie and Jeff Peru, and then Howard's dad himself, a couple other guys from Detroit, and go down, do a 3-day or a 4-day, 3-night thing right there as like a little retirement party.
It's cheap, it's nice, and let me know. I'll definitely be there. I'll come down. Well, I'll get my foursome, but we'll get our own shit and hang out for sure.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. So
that's
that's something we've been working on. So
nice.
We'll see.
All right, you crazy fuckers. It's
All
been
right,
real.
boys.
Jimmy Howard, the Detroit Red Wings, real little retirement talk here with him tonight, and it's been a pleasure to have Johnny Shaver on, friend of the program, and I don't know, he's been on 4 or 5 times now, so we'll have to get you back in with some of your perspectives on what's
Yes,
going
come
on
on
with us.
more, John. Come on,
You
hang
gotta-
out with us more.
You got to update my picture. That's fucking brutal.
I like it.
You got
I
a
told you
fucking
we had
beard.
you covered, John.
That's
Like, was there like 2 guys that kept their helmets on because they're going bald, or what the fuck's going on there? I know
Just
Charlton is.
Charlton and Shaver.
You're definitely bald.
What do we got here? Oh, there we go. Oh, Stanley Cup. You should have sent that to us. We would have uploaded
you
that
didn't
one.
give me the option. You just said I got you covered.
Well, we had this one. That
And then
was
you
a good one.
Yeah, you bring in the one where I had my 19th beer at 10 o'clock a.m.
AM.
All right. Well, boys,
All right, bud.
until next time, keep your stick on the ice.
See ya. Thanks, John.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on, boys.
See you, boys.
We're 3 brothers from a small town in the east coast of Canada.
Golf has been in our blood since Caddyshack was at the drive-in.
We've dedicated our lives to this game.
Ride free with them high falcons in the sun. Ride the bell on down, not over 55 in the motor song, like over at home. In the AM radar, love is coming on strong. He's getting you along. He's going in and go. Easy, won't you take me in? Some of that old-fashioned California sin. Oh, there's the rules. I don't make them. Lead the dice. Watch me shake them. If I give myself to you, will you